call this? Limousine, lamb hauler, Dodge Lamb. I think the horse trailer is called the Pony Express. I don't want to add Dodge to it. That's the last time. Just like the Hobcat. The Hobcat isn't a Bobcat, it's a Hobcat. That's not a Mahindra, that's the Manny Hindra. Or Molly Hindra, depending on your gender specificity. The Jeep is just like the sheep. I don't know, the Jeep, I can't remember what we called it. I don't know what the heck this project should be. Hey everybody. So, I don't know what to call this. Whistling wind in the shop, bad sheep garage, yellow horse garage, gold horse garage, or just whistling wind making junk. So what are we doing here? We're taking 1, 2, 3 trucks and making one. Why are we taking 3 trucks and making one, you might ask? Isn't this one good enough? Yes, this truck is absolutely awesome. I have rebuilt the engine, transmission, transfer case, rear end twice, all the wiring under the hood, all the wiring to the back, wire wheel, cleaned and painted the frame, redone every fastener that I've taken off, repainted under the frame. The only thing that hasn't been done is the front diff hasn't taken apart. I've never actually pulled and done anything in the front end. And the cab wiring hasn't been done, and I haven't done any body works on it. That's where we come here. This cab is starting to rust apart. As you can see here, we just got normal, everyday 97 type, 1-door back seat. This cab here has, oh, this is a bad one because I had to cut this apart. It has 2 doors. I think it's called a quad cab. Much easier access to the back seat, which will make hauling a lot easier. The end goal of this truck here is to make something that we can commercially insure and haul heavy with. This is a great platform to start with. Good motor, fairly good on fuel. I think I get 800 to 900 kilometers, pulling about 20,000 pounds, or combined 20,000 pounds on a full tank of fuel. So you can't beat that. Where we got issues is, yeah, accessibility to the back seat. I need to start body work on this anyways. The bottom cab rockers are starting to go out, and the box has been replaced twice already and it's junked out. Might as well start body work on something that's a little bit more user-friendly for us. Why are we swapping frames? That one has developed a hairline crack right in this area here. But on these frames, you'll see they've put this plate in here that runs all the way through here and reinforces this joint here. We picked this up for dirt cheap, so why not use it? One of the other reasons we're going to be swapping out the frame is this has not only got that reinforcement in it, it also came with a disc braked rear end. So the disc brakes have a better capability of dissipating heat when you're towing heavy, which means a little bit safer for just anybody jumping into and running this truck. I do have another front end for this that doesn't have this center axle disconnect. There's a axle right here and an axle right here, and then this locks the 2 of them together. Originally, because this piece here is about $300 to replace it, or I think $300 to get a cable actuated thing. The original plan was to just eliminate that, right, and get an axle that was all one piece. I do have that axle, but I'm just thinking that possibly for towing, with this being an automatic, in order to back up a heavy trailer, you need to put this in low range. Otherwise, you do burn out your reverse first clutch packs. So having the ability to disconnect your front axle when you got it in 4 low makes turning a lot nicer. The downside, these split axles are actually weighted a little bit lower. Their tow rating is a little bit lower than the whole axle. So I've kind of got a decision to make there. Ball joints are different on this one. The brakes can be upgraded to larger brakes that requires a 17-inch rim. And same on the rear end, so we can actually put a disc brake rear end and larger disc brakes. So that's kind of the reasons we're deciding to swap this all over. We've got lots of parts for this. We'll keep the motor, transmission, transfer case, all that into this. The transfer case might need to be modified depending on which front axle goes in, whether it needs vacuum or not. Our 4-wheel drive light switch is sitting right there. The transfer case for this vacuum and this vacuum are the same with the switch. If we go with the one that doesn't have center axle disconnect, then we have to put that light into the transfer case and get rid of the vacuum connectors. There is one more thing that we have to do because we're going to be breaking into the transfer case. This truck here uses a different 4-wheel drive shifter. It's just straight down. This is attached to the actual body itself, you can see it's 4 low, neutral, 2 high, 4 high. So you're 4 high, 2 wheel drive, and then 4 low. So that, I'd like to keep that. That's a much better style of mount. This one here is, as you can see, different. 2 high, 4 high, over and down to neutral and down to 4 low. This isn't attached to the body. This is attached to the transmission. Jeez, look at the mess in here. So I do have to change a thing in the transfer case to change the way that these operate. Sitting right here, we got a rear sway bar that's going to go on. This truck doesn't have a rear sway bar. The new build will have a rear sway bar, and we also have overloads there. I do have another spring pack on another axle that has the overload springs that bolt here. Then you're not relying always on that air pressure. So if your bag blows out, you still have something keeping the weight from sagging the back end. So we might use the airbags. I'm not sure. That's why I kind of want to put the overloads in. I might also throw an extra leaf spring when I rebuild these leaf packs in. I'm not sure. This truck is going to be built specifically to haul. Let's see, is that all we're talking about there? Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I got to do the body work on that, the body work on the other box I got. I'm going to take these fenders and hood and clean all them up. Today, I think I got some stuff here. I'll show you. We'll be pulling a box and shifting it to the other frame that we got. So we're shifting the frames or the box around so that we can clean this up to get it over here. And I got some folks interested in these here. This is lift spacer. This is like a 2-inch lift spacer. I don't want a lift kit on this. Or a leveling kit or whatever. Somebody's interested in these shocks, so that has to come out. This has to come out. The rear shocks on this here, they're both coming out because the other guy expressed interest in all 4 shocks. Purpose of these leveling kits here is most of your trucks are built, so this is the front end, this is the rear end. They're built with a slight rake like this. And the reason for that is when you put a load on it, it levels it out. Nobody uses trucks for trucks anymore, so they don't like that look. They want it to bring it up. And then when you put a load on it, it does this, and your headlights shine into the sky, and you can't bloody see, and everybody complains. It's just something I know we'll never use. This truck here actually has leveling coils in it, because it sits a lot higher. These other trucks do. Either running these coils or the ones on my other frame. This is the project. I'm not sure how much we'll be getting to work on it. So what I need to do here over the next little while is strip all this stuff we don't need. The airbags, sway bars, all the wiring off of this. We're going to strip this all down. All these brackets, fuel tank comes out, that spare tire comes out. All the wiring and brackets will come off of this. These camper tie downs here will come off, and we'll start working on sanding this frame down, inspect it for cracks, damage, and getting it ready for paint. So I just like to use the cheapo Tremclad. It only costs like $40 or $60 to paint an entire frame, and you still got stuff left over for the other one. So way cheap to go, but if you want to touch up, you just hit it with a spray can. Looks good, mint, ready to head off. So yeah, so like I said, today we're just stripping off these parts here, and I'll show you when I lifted the frame or the box off and put it on the other frame. I think there's a bit of a mess when I did that. So I guess we'll get into this easier side here so we know what the other side will be like, and we've sorted our problems before we get there. The airbag lines, I didn't even see that. I'll run somewhere. All right, I gotta take out that tube for that tire. So we're not quite done under the back. I gotta see where these airbag lines run. Oh, they run up into this. They run up over into the fuel thing. So, yes, this is where this dude put his airbags. I don't like that. Oh, and then we gotta take this whole thing out too. So we're not quite done in there. I'm gonna disconnect all that and pop that down. Okie dokie. All right, there's this hole here and right there. There's another one right through there. And that's it. Okay, that's not that bad. I think it's dumb. Stupid spare time. Okay. It's chrome. Don't use a chrome one. Yeah, no. Don't use a chrome one. No. Bad. Bad. Okay, there's one. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Here's that air line to that other side. That one there. That one there. I can't see in there. I think that looks free, yeah? It looks free. I'm just gonna jump under here and get this done. I don't think you can see where the bolts are anymore. So now we've got this thing loose and all undone. Go grab the tractor and then lift this box off, put it on that frame, but then this is ready to go. Go, go, go. Good to go. Forgot one thing. When I thought about this and I mentioned it, oh, ice. This is hanging it up. I think I could pop this plastic out. I could slide this back, the whole box back, get around that. Oh yeah! Kool-Aid! That's almost down, out of the way. I was trying to find my my Saskatchewan hammer there, my adjustable wrench to get on this end, because I don't like trusting this little these little tabs to hold the shock mounts, but we'll use what we got, and that's a 21 mil, and maybe we'll go loose. There we go. I just don't trust those. Sometimes they bend. And so how is that shock? Let's see, that's not bad. I would actually say that's not bad. I'm not going to ask a fortune for anything. Probably 10 or 20 bucks for something like that, just to help somebody else out. Oh, come on. Oh. You're gonna be so fast. And that's where I need my Saskatchewan hammer. I'm gonna go find that. This is called working with a brain injury. I took these two toolboxes out of the inside of this truck and put it on the bumper. But did I do that before I turned this truck around or after? So where the heck is that? Did it fall off out here when I was turning it around? Okay, so I backed up into this mess here. No, did I? So the truck was backwards. So I backed it up to here. Or did I back it up to there? I backed it up to here. There it is. Ha! Ugh. Saskatchewan hammer. In the snow. A little frozen Saskatchewan hammer. Does it still work? Oh yeah, even though I ran over it, it still works good. Did I stick anything else on the back of that truck? I think it was just this. We'll find out when it melts. Okay, back to taking these shocks off. Geez, if I ran over my socket box, that would have been just fun. Glad it was just that. Glad it was just that. I should actually go get a proper socket for this, or a proper wrench. Yeah, I gotta go get a proper wrench. All that work, and I should have done the right thing to start with. Right thing was still to find this, but yeah, I need a socket. Yeah. Okay, when I said socket, this is what I meant. Not a socket, a wrench. And now we gotta hope that I got the right ones. Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Ugh, really? Why does one side want to go and one side not? Oh, you bugger. This would be a lot easier if I don't want to get on the ground. I don't. Hey, oh, I ain't no respect. Okay, what size was that? 13/16? Oh, this should actually be easy. Take the pressure off. Nope. You know why they call this a Saskatchewan hammer, right? This bottom mount got damaged at one time and somebody welded a couple washers on there. Which is just a friggin' treat, bro. A friggin' treat. Come on, out. Bottom bushing is kind of shot. Get out. Hammer to the rescue. Hammer to the rescue. Out. Treat the tools like crap. Oh, bushing came right apart. Well, is that worth selling if the bushing came right apart? You know what? If it gets somebody on the road and you can help somebody out, they can always find another bushing for that. That shock actually looks fairly good shape. But this I'm gonna fix. That looks like crap. You guys see what? So, somebody welded a washer onto either side, and then looks like this hole got wallered out because they didn't replace the shocks for so long. So when these bushings wear out, because these bushings go, and then all you got is this thing, this in here riding, because these bushings are shot, this will go up and down like that, and that's what takes out these holes and wallows them out and makes them oval. So that's why somebody did this. Oh. And that's the wrong size. Of course. Okay. I just gotta grab the other one on the other side. Really? Oh, I need a swivel. Yes, I need a swivel. That won't fit. Be right back. This is not an impact swivel. It's not meant for the hammering action, and it could explode. Don't do this. You're behind the camera, so you're safe. Cooperate. Oh, that's really, there we go. That's better. Okay. See, this one's different than the one on that side. This was meant to come down and hit there. I got proper tools, so I look like a professional next. Just disregard the way I did things on the last one. Oh, look at that. Okay, we might have to manually do that. Let's see what my battery power's at. Battery power's at 1. That could explain it. I gotta go get a new battery. Try this battery that has 2 on it instead of 1. See what happens. Nothing. Okay, we're not even gonna play with that. We're just gonna grab the breaker bar. That would explain a lot. Getting dripped on. Down we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Breaker bar power. Oh, okay, that should come off now. Sometimes I just... which one was it? It was that one, okay. Huzzah! Where the heck did that... Oh, I just shot that somewhere. Good on ya. Okay, that's loose now. I have lots of shock bolts, so if I have to get a harder hammer, I can, but that one looks like it's working. Holy smokes, there we go. Ah! Okay, and then instead of using my Saskatchewan hammer, there we go. Now that shock looks to be in a little bit better shape. See what it's like. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, those are good shocks, okay? We got the 2 rear shocks off. Just trying to put the boot back over. I think these are white. What's white shocks? Rancho? All right, so front shocks are a little bit different than rear shocks on these Dodge trucks. I think most of these newer Dodge trucks, 94 and on. They're a through coil. So this stud here secures it. So problem is this'll, I'll show you. Here's the biggest problem with these. Everything is turning. Going, but you see it's turning with it. So that's why this is squared off on the sides. I throw a set of vice grips on there, and then we'll crank that off. Then the bottom ones are right in, you can see right in there. And then that's again, just like the bottoms on that, the rear end, it goes straight through an eyelet, and then there's a tab on the back that'll hook as we undo that. This is easy down here. This is the one, if you're trying to salvage it, not so easy. Oh, that's just... I'm really thinking I should have... Oh, maybe, there we go. That's coming. There is also a spot inside on the top of this that you could get a wrench in. I've just never really had any luck getting anything on that. But there is, right up inside of here, you could put something on there. I've actually had the studs snap off trying to do that. So that's why I like to grab it up at the top there. Less chance of it breaking. I mean, if it's just a junk shock and you're junking it, don't worry about it. Do what you got to do. But like I said, this is for sale. So let's try and salvage this. Here we go. That's hot now. Okay, perfect. But that's just the shock tower. And I can put this back together so we don't lose that. All that stuff if you want some. These shocks are, oh, those ones are brand new. Oh, that's tight. Did you let go? I don't know. Grab my bigger bar. Oh, everything is melting now. It's all melting. I might have to grab my bigger bar, my heavier bar, because I'm bending this out. Okay, gotta go get a bigger bar. There we go. Oh, I got space. Oh. 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 It does want to go, it's getting smoother. Big bar. Just give you an idea. That's my big bar. Okay, this is going to be exactly why I hate those stupid tab things. You see that in there? That thing is... You can see it bent right up in there. I have to get a piece of something on there to hold that. These things, that's why I hate them. You catch them and they bend over like that, so hate them so much. So, well, I popped this one off. That's just that thing there. So this is what that lift thing looks like. See, normally your spring would sit somewhere up here. It just spaces it like that far down. So not a big deal. Just sits in there. But I've got a pry bar jammed in here right now into hopefully that thing that spun around. And we're gonna try this with the impact and see if we can't break it loose. The tab is right off that thing. So the next solution is what? It would be nice to get this control arm out of the way, because then I'd have a straight shot in there, and I already do. Jeez, I didn't film that, sorry. Then I popped these out of the control arms, top and bottom, because I'm thinking if I can get a straight shot in with a socket. Okay, if we go up with that. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh, yeah. Jeez, those bushings actually don't seem in too bad a shape. Spares. Now do we have a clear shot? Whoop. Oh, looks like it. Usually these things are a nightmare to do. I'm surprised that came off that easy. I like it. She just doesn't have the chooch. We're almost out of wall gas. I want this done. I thought this would just take a quick time, not all freaking day. Have enough. I think if I get more wall gas in that battery, we should be good to go. That one's full of wall gas. We're good to go. Let's see if we can't do something now. Over. Okay. Hooray! Hooray! What did it? Just had to take half the friggin' suspension apart. That's the way it's not done. Flip, wiggle woggle. There we go. It's out. Yeah. With that shock, this thing here, you see how it's got a fits over the nut there, just like that. And if you look close enough, where's the camera on this? You'll see there's little notches in this, or not notches, there's little burrs in it. That's supposed to capture this. But as you can see, we twisted it until it broke like that, and then it just snapped right off. So what I usually do, like I said, I'll take old bed frames and I'll make one of these, put it on here just like that, and then just give it a tack weld on the way around. It's a lot stronger than this thin crap here. Did I say bed sheets or bed frames? I don't remember. It's been way too long on this. This was a nightmare. We had to take the control arm out. If you were just changing shocks in something that was running, to take the control arm out, and the fact that this came out like it did, usually the nut or the bolt inside will seize in here and you got to cut these off. Like, that was lucky. But if you had a daily drive or a simple shock change, it should take a shop, I'm going to say an hour and a half, would have turned into 4 hours impossible bushings. Like, stuff like that happens. So just be aware of that. Like, you know, when you start giving your mechanics a bit of a shop for doing something and, oh, it costs a lot more. This simple little piece of crap tab that Dodge thought was a good idea to save money, and if they'd have just doubled the thickness, this wouldn't have happened, is what causes you to spend even more money. I'm gonna jack the frame up. This one went surprisingly easier than the other side, I think, right? I think that's the best way to go about it. But there, that's our lift block. Look at that. I think, oh, this one went better because I took this control arm out. That's why there's no limit on the control arm. Because that was a heck of a lot easier than the other side. I wish I'd known that. I would have pulled the control arm on the other side because, like I said, it has to come out. Just like that. Okay. Freaking mint, baby. Day one on this project, we got our leveling spacers, front shocks, and the rear shocks. These are mint. These are nearly new. Those I'm not sure about. That should recover a little tiny bit of the cost. I don't know really what to call this project. We did call the truck the Limousine because it is the longest truck Dodge made in this model year, and then when it's got the trailer hooked up, it's extremely long. So Project Limousine, the Dodge Lam. I don't want to give them credit. Screw Dodge. Yeah, that's the last time I'll call it the D word. I don't know what we should call this project. We'll figure it out. So yeah, that's the project we got going on here. Once this truck here is all built up, maybe we'll get to work on this one. That's my fun truck. That's the one I got a whole bunch of go fast engine parts on it. So no performance stuff in this, really. We're gonna try and make the most reliable truck by using the heavier parts, the easier to access cab, a good box. Oh, and then that needs a clutch. Like really bad. Like for like 3 years after the clutch went on it, I would drive it without using the clutch. And now I think the flywheel is pretty much like gone. You have to start it in gear and hopefully be pointing downhill in the direction you either want to go or back up. You can see the fenders were custom dog. That's custom dog bodywork. There was gophers. I left the truck out with a water tank in one of the fields, and the gophers got into it. And our big white dog before Ben, and Cassie was a little one, and our big dog Samson, he grabbed the fender and just like ripped it out and ripped all the rust off. So yeah, that's custom. That's now my storage truck. That was our work truck to go out back. It had all our fencing stuff in it. Runs like a top. It's got over 960,000 kilometers on it. It's a good truck. It's just got 4 different tires on it too, and no clutch. Some of the lights don't work so great. Oh, it's got a broken back window too, so there was a tarp up. I think the tarp's gone. I might have to put plywood on. Should we fix that? But this is project 1. This is project 2. And at some point I got to get the motor done on that Jeep sitting there. It's in the basement. Maybe that'll be project 2. Maybe we'll go 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and I should probably fix my... There's a generator sitting right there. It's a backup for that generator. Stop doing that. That generator. Project 1. Get that motor done and put that back together. It's half done. It was just, I was in the middle of putting it together when we got the call to evacuate, and then I never got back to work on it. So it was going to be done, but then it wasn't. And then this will be number 3. Because having a backup to this truck in case this one breaks down, having this one on the road would be awesome, because this one here can haul all our other trailers. So, but this one's going to be easy. Wire wheel, repaint. Do the body work on this. Lift all these, put them together, grab the box, put it on there, do the body work on the box. I'll redo these fenders here. That's I think what the plan is. So